Okay, and we are live. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome. We're back. It's Trucking Tuesday, and we are back. Okay, just making sure we're all set up properly. So, welcome back, everybody. It's Trucking Tuesday. We're back for more Snowrunner today. We're going to get started in just a minute. Before we begin, though, there is a couple of things that I want to mention. So, first of all, if you're watching on YouTube or TWITCH right now, you will notice on that side of me we've got on-screen chat now, which is amazing. Not only do we have on-screen chat, but in theory, I haven't been able to test it, but in theory it's multi-chat, which means any comments on TikTok or YouTube will also appear there, which is really cool if it actually works. Like I say, I haven't had a chance to test it because you can only test it when you're live. But if anyone wants to leave a comment on TikTok or YouTube, and we'll see if it appears there. So that's visible on the YouTube stream, and it's also visible on the purple stream. It's not visible on the TikTok stream. I didn't want to put it on the TikTok stream because TikTok's got its own chat that covers the screen, and I didn't want it to be too intrusive. So if you're watching on TikTok, you can only see the TikTok chat. But if you're watching on YouTube or the Purple app, you can hopefully see all three chats. You can see a couple of comments from Charlie on YouTube who appeared there as well. So thank you very much, Charlie. And it also, just to point out, it also says, there's also a little icon next to each comment to tell you which platform it comes from. So there's no confusion about that. That being said, that being said, there is one other thing that I want to point out, which is that we got a lovely little animated box in the top corner on YouTube and Purple app as well, which will just cycle through some lovely images and graphics that I've painstakingly put together for this stream and for future streams. But with that being said, we're playing Snowrunner today, so I'm not gonna keep talking for much longer. We're gonna get into the game. I'm gonna launch the game up right now, and we're gonna switch over to the game view in just a second. I do want to say again before we begin, I'm very close to affiliate over on TWITCH, so if you are watching on YouTube or TikTok right now, please consider going and watching the stream over there instead. There's a link in my bio and my about section. Sunday's stream actually did hit 3 average viewers, so we are a quarter of the way there. I only need 3 more streams. Literally, I just need 3 people to watch the stream on the Purple app for 3 days, and I will hit affiliate. So if you could help me out with that, it'd be very much appreciated, and thanks everyone who's already watching over there, obviously. Right. With that being said, the game is currently loading. There it is. So I am going to turn off the music, and I'm going to switch over to the game view. There we go, which should now be showing Snowrunner. There we go. Hi, Leon. How are you doing? So I am noticing that the TikTok chat isn't actually appearing on the OBS stream. There's been a couple of comments on TikTok that haven't appeared in the OBS stream, so maybe I just haven't set that up properly. According to Streamlabs, it's supposed to include the TikTok chat as well, and I did add my TikTok account, so I'll troubleshoot that. But you can see the YouTube chat and the Purple chat mixed together, which is very good. You didn't used to be allowed to do that. It was never officially against the rules, but a few streamers got in trouble for mixing their chats into one feed. As of like last month, they have officially made it not a rule. So you can mix chats now. It is allowed. So there we go. We got the YouTube and Purple app chat mixed together, which is great. Now back to the game. I've talked for long enough. Let's play the game. We're going to visit Alaska today, because last time we didn't actually do much in the snow. We spent most of our time in Black River, Michigan, which is not very snowy. So today we are going to go to Alaska, and we're going to try and actually do some driving in the snow, which is what Snowrunner is all about, right? I'm going to keep the stream preview on for now, but if we have lag problems, I can turn it off. We'll see what happens. I also need to just pause the game for a second because the handbrake's flipped. Thanks for following, Scrivy. Wait, no, hang on. Pause. Flip the brake, unpause. There we go, now it's the right way around. Sometimes the handbrake, because it's a toggle, sometimes the handbrake's in the wrong position when I start the game. Okay, let's get moving. So, actually, first of all, where are we and what's happening? Let's catch up on what we did last time. So, last time we repaired the bridge over here. We also repaired this bridge here, and this bridge just here, which we can see right there, if it'll let me pan the camera. Less of a bridge, more just a pile of logs across the water, but it counts. So we can drive across there now if we switch to the Marshall. Leon, unfortunately, no commands yet. I don't have a bot yet in the chat. But I will be setting one up, so if you have any command suggestions, if there's any commands you want me to add, let me know. Okay, here we go. So this is the bridge we built last time, and we should be able to sail right across it now. There we go. What I'm thinking is, before we go to Alaska, there is one more waypoint, oh sorry, there's 3 more watchtowers, but there's one more watchtower that I actually want to go to because I think it'll unlock quite a significant chunk of the map for us. So we're going to go and find this watchtower, then we're going to travel to Alaska, and I think we'll take the Tatra with us because I love that thing. I don't want to glaze, but the graphics are amazing. Thank you, Charlie. I do think Snowrunner has amazing graphics. Oh, this one doesn't have a high gear. Whoops. I actually could go to auto. Yeah, I think Snowrunner's graphics are absolutely amazing. They might cause a bit of lag for the webcam, though. If the webcam goes out of sync, that's why. And obviously, if that does happen, and it gets too serious, I can always turn off my stream preview. Give it an extra kick. Are you ignoring me, says Donut Woman? I'm not Donut Woman. How are you doing today? Did I actually... I should probably have marked where we're actually going to get to this tower. Might have been easier to approach it from the south. Go through the town and head straight north. But hopefully we can get around this way as well. I'm going to switch to cab view as well, and I'm going to try and stay in cab view as much as I can. Okay, it is starting to lag out the webcam a bit, so I'm going to turn off the live preview. It just means that I can't see the stream, so I don't know what the stream looks like right now. But I could still monitor the chats. That's the only thing that's really important. As long as I can see everyone. And okay, continuing. That might help. So yeah, like I was saying, things have been going really good over on TWITCH at the minute. I've spent quite a lot of time overhauling the whole overlay and stuff like that. There's new graphics elements, there's obviously on-screen chat now, so I've got high hopes for it. I would like for that to become my main streaming platform. As much as I love TikTok, as much as I love my audience on TikTok, because it's where I really got my start with streaming, I do think that the app that I can't name on TikTok is going to be a lot better for me to actually stream on. So that's what I'm hoping that that's going to become my main streaming platform, which is why I would really like to get to affiliate. And thank you everyone who's already watching over there right now for helping me. Hi Forrest, how are you doing? Oh wait, hang on. I don't think this is such a good idea, is it? It is quite shallow, but it's risky. If we just make a beeline for the track on the other side. Is that Mudrunner? It's Snowrunner, so the same people. Looking great, says P. Thank you, P. Yeah, I really put a lot of effort into the look of the stream, because I think that was something that was I think that's something that was turning viewers off a little bit. You know, when you tune into a stream and it's literally just the game and a webcam in the corner, it feels like quite low effort, you know what I mean? Whereas now I've got the chat on screen, I've got the animated like information panel in the bottom corner. It tells you what the next stream is. It tells you, that there's messages about the Patreon and stuff like that. I think it makes the stream a bit more interesting, even in the boring parts. Like, even when the stream itself gets quiet, there's lots of stuff happening on screen, which will hopefully, like I say, keep people's interest a bit more. That's the theory, anyway. Do you think before speaking, says Gaming? Usually, yeah. How's everyone doing? Hi, Draydog, how are you doing today? Oh, by the way, Draydog, have you heard the Doctor Who news? We haven't really had a chance to discuss it, but there's been huge Doctor Who news. 2 classic episodes have been recovered. And not only have 2 classic episodes been recovered, but they're 2 of perhaps the most sought-after classic episodes, which is huge news. For anyone who's not a Doctor Who fan, there was, in the early 70s, they deleted a lot of... BB Horn? There you go, Mickey. In the 1970s, the BBC wiped a lot of tapes from some of their older shows, and Doctor Who was very badly affected. They deleted tons and tons of classic Doctor Who episodes, and over the last 40 years or so, they've slowly managed to recover tapes from collectors and stuff like that, and a lot of the missing episodes have been found, but there's still quite a few missing. There were 97 episodes still missing until last week, because last week they officially announced, a charity called Film is Fabulous officially announced that they have recovered 2 more episodes from the classic series, and they're from a story called The Daleks' Master Plan, which is a huge fan favourite episode. So it's like really, really amazing news. If you're not a Doctor Who fan, it's completely meaningless, but for Doctor Who fans, this is big. It's like one of the best possible missing episodes that they could have found. 2 of the best missing episodes that they could have found. So it's huge news. And they're being released on iPlayer at Easter. So it's not going to be long before you can see 2 episodes of Doctor Who that nobody has seen for 40 years. That's crazy. I'm excited. It's really good news. Anyway, sorry for nerding out about Doctor Who. Let's get back to the chat. Afternoon, Mega Rocker. How are you doing? Forrest says, I've been streaming for 3 to 4 years now, and I agree, especially if you have sub goals. Yes, that's part of the reason that I'm really looking forward to getting to affiliate as well, because once I hit affiliate, we can do bits, we can do subs, we can do all of that other good stuff that keeps people engaged. So I'm really looking forward to it. Once again, if you are watching on TikTok or YouTube, please consider watching the stream on the Purple app instead, because I am very close to affiliate. I just need to get a few more viewers, and I'm really hoping that things will take off once I finally hit it. So thank you everyone who is watching over there right now. Cam is laggy, says Leon. Yes, I apologise for the camera lag. It happens sometimes with particularly graphically demanding games. I don't have like a NASA supercomputer or anything. I think my PC's fairly good. It's a good mid-range PC, but it's not really the best for streaming. I don't have a capture card or anything like that. So what tends to happen when I play these like quite graphically demanding games, it prioritizes the game itself and it ends up lagging out the webcam. Which, honestly, it's not ideal, but I'd rather it do that than the game itself be laggy, you know what I mean? I'd rather the webcam lag out than the game. And it doesn't happen on every game, like, even most modern games. Like, we've played Resident Evil, the newest Resident Evil, without any issue. We play Euro Truck all the time without any issue. It's really just... Snowrunner is one of the only games that I've really noticed it on, to be honest. It has happened occasionally with Farming Sim. But yeah, if it's a choice between the webcam lagging and the game lagging, I'd rather it be the webcam, you know what I mean? Saul, I found your Steam account. How does that make you feel? Considering that I host open convoys on Euro Truck every Tuesday, I really don't care. Like, everyone knows my Steam account. Has Trucking Night moved, says Mega Rocker? No, this is still Trucking Tuesday. It's just that once a month I am going to be playing Snowrunner instead of Euro Truck. So in a typical month there should be 2 Euro Truck streams and 1 Snowrunner stream. Okay, 100 meters to go. I should shift back to auto. That's why we're going so slowly. I keep hanging around in low gear instead of auto. This truck doesn't have a high gear, so if I want to go faster than 2 miles an hour, I need to be in auto. Okay, here we go. Launch observation. B2. That's B2. Lovely. The keys on screen don't actually match my controls, by the way, because I've mapped these with Universal Control Remapper, so when it says B2 on the screen, I'm actually pressing button 3 to do that. And to skip scenes, button 2. It's a whole thing. Snowrunner is not the best for like plug and play with a lot of devices. It supports 1 wheel and 1 side panel, but obviously I've got the handbrake and the gear shifter as well, so I use something called Universal Control Remapper, which basically lets you map any device to any input, so that's how I'm able to use the gear shifter and the handbrake in Snowrunner. It's very handy. Anyway, that's that watchtower discovered. I think we will head back to the garage now. And we will go to the Tatra. I think we're going to take the Tatra to Alaska with us. It's a great truck. It's a good all-rounder. It can do basically any terrain. It's got a decent-sized bed as well, so I think we'll take that. Why is there a bed in the background, says Justin Harbour? That's because this is my bedroom, and it has a bed in it for me to sleep in. Okay, let's head to... Which button opens the functions menu? That one. Thank you. Recover. Draydog says, got a feeling that Dalek's master plan will be the next story to be animated, but I hope they add the two. I think it would make sense. You know, now that 2 more episodes have been recovered, there's now 5 surviving episodes from the Dalek's master plan, so they could do it. They could animate the missing episodes, but you've got to remember it's a 12-part story, so there'd still be 7 episodes to animate, even with the ones that have just been found. Anyway, global map. Alaska. Let's go to the garage. Sebastian Sausage, can you convince my friend Georgie to get Mudrunner? He's being difficult. Get Mudrunner, Georgie. It's good. P says, remember that one time someone got obsessed with the bed being real and wanted you to touch it to show it was real? I do, P, yeah. You'd be surprised how often I've been accused of not being real. People think the bed's fake, people think the whole room's fake, people think that I'm fake. They think I'm just some advanced AI facsimile or something. I'm not, I'm just awkward. I promise I'm a real human being. That's the correct truck? Yes. Okay. Enter Alaska. Welcome to Alaska. Now you know the basics of the game, it's up to you to scout, accept contracts, upgrade or buy new vehicles, and conquer the wilderness. Completing contracts in Alaska might be tougher because of the weather conditions. If you want to be more prepared, you're free to come back to Michigan and explore Alaska later. Don't forget to scout uncharted areas, discover watchtowers, and run contracts from the map menu. Okay. There's snow! There's actual snow in Snowrunner. It's the 2nd episode, and we finally encountered the snow. Here it is. Just in case you were wondering why this game's called Snowrunner, because there was no snow in the 1st episode at all. Here we are. We're in Alaska. It's snowy, it's cold. It's icy as well. Go to auto. Let's do it. Flatbed trailer discovered. Nice one. I don't think we're going to need a trailer though. This, like I say, this has got a good sized bed, and it is just really, really good off-road. I think this might be one of my favourite trucks in the game, and it came with the Year 1 Season Pass, I believe, so it's not in the base game, but it's just really good. It's a great truck. Let's start then by... Ooh. If the map can stay still. Let's start by heading to this watchtower. The only thing is, even with a good off-road truck, watchtowers are still quite tricky to get to because they're up like really steep rock faces and stuff like that. So we might still need to get a scout vehicle. But we'll go ahead with this and see. Is that a Kamaz? It's a Tatra Mega Rocker. Big fan of Tatra. I think the first time I experienced a Tatra truck in a game, there was the Tatra Phoenix in Farming Sim 17. But they're great trucks. This one is absolutely fantastic. There you go, it's got the Tatra crest on the front there, as you can see. Fake live, says Ollie. Well, how could it be fake if I've just read out your comment, Ollie? You were definitely picked last in PE, says Donut Woman. Yeah, I was. I don't think you understand how underweight I was as a child. And it's not even because I was neglected, I'm just naturally very thin. It's a problem, it's not healthy. Oh, hello. we might already have run into a roadblock. I'm seeing the pipeline up ahead is broken. It's got a big gap in it. Have a nice live. Thanks, Ollie. Let's go to auto again. Auto definitely has a bit more kick to it, you know, it's got a bit more pep. Okay, so the road here is closed. But there's no mission... there's no, like, interaction box where we have to deliver something, so... Maybe we repair this later as part of a story mission. I don't know. I've just noticed your belly button, says Justin. What about it? Everyone has one. I honestly don't know if I'm best starting in low and then switching to auto, or if I should just stay in auto the whole time. Averaging 6 viewers today, well done girl. Thanks Leon, thank you so much. Like I say, I'm really hoping that we hit that average again today. We did hit it in Subnautica on Sunday. The stream ended up with an average of 3.5 viewers, which is incredible. It was enough to count towards the affiliate. I literally just need that to happen 3 more times, and we got affiliate. And then I can stop begging people to watch the stream to help me get affiliate, because I'll have already done it. Is it another 2-hour stream today? It is, Liam, yes. 2 hours again, so we'll be finishing at 7 o'clock. I am sorry for going on about it, by the way. It's just, you know, we've been doing this. I've been streaming on Purple app for, I think, about 8 months now. And we're so close to hitting affiliate. So I'm sorry for going on about it, but we're so close, and I really think it could happen this week if enough people watch. So that's when you beg more, says Mega Rocker. Yeah, let's get to partner. I think that might be a long way away, but you never know. One day. Okay, how far are we? Oh. Yeah, we might need the scout for this, because I've got a feeling we're going to have to potentially go under the pipeline. Oh, the pipeline contacts the ground. Oh, there is a place there that we could get underneath it. I think we'll get a scout vehicle. I wouldn't say that if I was you can get into trouble. What are you talking about, Justin? Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button to scroll the map, and it keeps just spinning it around very quickly. Okay, back to the garage. Truck storage. We don't have the Khan Marshal with us, though. We left it back in Michigan. I'm going to go back to Michigan very quickly just to grab the Khan Marshal. I did not say that, Justin. I did not say that at all. Those words never left my mouth. Also, I don't know if you're aware of this, but all of my VODs are saved. Like, you can watch back the entire VOD if you really want to, so anyone who's curious, you can, after the stream, you can go back and watch the full 2 hours and see that I said nothing of the sort. Okay, garage. Chunky Tires, says Mega Rocker. Yeah, that's why we want the Marshall, because it has these huge chunky tires. It's another really great off-road vehicle, but obviously it's very small as well compared to the Tatra, which makes it a lot more... I mean, you saw in the last stream, it literally bounces off of rocks. Like, you can climb almost vertical rock walls with this, because it literally just leaps from rock to rock. And it's because of these huge tires that are really, really filled to the brim. Let's see what it can do. It's a lot nippier as well. It's very fast. We'll save the Tatra until we actually have stuff to deliver, because that's obviously... This has got no space for that. It's got no storage. So that's when the Tatra will really come into its own. Okay, Draydog, would you mind getting rid of Jack for us, please? he's getting on my nerves now. Thank you very much. You know, I'm kind of glad that the TikTok chat isn't actually showing on the OBS feed, because it's always the most unhinged chat of all of them. Like, I've had some pretty crazy comments on YouTube as well, but the TikTok chat is always just the most out of pocket. It's crazy. Oh, this is more like it. Look at how fast we're moving now. TikTok chat has brainworms, says P. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just glad I have, you know, a few dedicated mods on TikTok. Thank you so much, Draydog and Charlie, if you're watching right now. And the rest of the mod team as well. Helping to keep it under control. Okay, here we are. We're back to the Tatra. Got here a lot faster with the Marshall. But we do still need to figure out how we're going to get under the pipe. I'm going to continue heading... I'm going to follow this road a bit further and see if there's a road that branches off it. Because if I can avoid going under the pipeline, you know, that'd be ideal. I mod for another streamer on TikTok and on here, and you're a lot more lenient than most, says P. I try. I do try to be very, very lenient with moderating the comments. Like, I always tell my mods, you know, unless it's spam, don't bother. Like, I don't mind getting negative comments, but if you start spamming or you, like, you know, send negative comments, like, towards other users, that's when I draw the line. You know, you can say what you want to me, but don't be leaving nasty comments to other viewers, because what have they done to deserve it? You know what I mean? If you're gonna leave nasty comments, just direct them at me. That's fine. And obviously, like I say, when it becomes spammy as well. Engagement is engagement, I guess. True, true. Okay, I'm gonna very quickly have a look at the graphics settings. I don't want to turn them down too much. But I mean, it is on. We are on Ultra right now. The graphics preset is on Ultra. Does it really need to be? I think we could get away with high. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference to the quality of the gameplay, but it might improve the quality of the webcam, so we'll give it a try. Hello, Glamrock Freddy Fazbear. Freddy, you're a Thomas fan, aren't you? Have you heard the news? You heard about the new game? Oh, we are way off course here, by the way. Although I see a road there, I'm still committing to this. I still think, yeah. I saw the new game. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. It looks really good. I'm definitely going to give it a go. I don't think it's any secret, you know, that I'm a Thomas fan. If you've seen any of my piano videos on TikTok, you'll know I like Thomas the Tank. Yeah, I'm 27 and I like Thomas the Tank Engine. Shoot me, lots of adults like Thomas the Tank. I'm one of them. And there's a brand new game just came out. It's called Wonders of Sodor. It's a train simulator game set in the Thomas universe on the island of Sodor. This is literally a childhood dream come true for me, you know? The idea of actually being able to visit the island of Sodor in an accurate train simulator experience. It's so cool. I'm definitely going to be playing it. I'm definitely going to take a look at it. Ah, see, there's a path here that branches off. I think this could work. I'm planning on getting the 13th and 10th Doctor game. I need to control my buy until I get a job, says Dre Dog. Oh, I feel that. Like, oh, I'm still recovering from a recent vet bill. As you know, I recently had to spend £300 at the vet for my cat to almost get a C-section. She didn't need one in the end, but she was very close to needing a C-section for her babies. In the end, they just gave her a jab of oxytocin to help her contractions along, but it still ended up costing me £300, which, you know, is, I mean, it's not a massive amount of money in the grand scheme of things, but it's a lot to just drop, you know, it's a lot to have suddenly sprung on you. So it's not the best situation, but like I say, it could have been worse. It could have ended up being £2,000. If she did need a C-section, it would have cost us £2,000. So thankfully she didn't. You know what, I'm going to abandon that waypoint and go to this one. How many kittens did your cat get? She had 3. They're all very lovely. They're a week old. They were born last Sunday, so just over a week old. But yeah, they're all absolutely adorable. You get all of that from TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon, so there's nothing to complain about, says Donut Women. Right. I get this a lot as well. I don't know how much money you think I make from streaming, but I can tell you that in the entire 2 years that I've been doing this, the amount of money that I've earned in total across all platforms is probably in the double digits. It's probably less than £100. That's Patreon, TikTok, all of it. For the last 2 years, I genuinely think it's probably less than £100 that I've made. I would like to make more, which is why I'd like you to watch the stream on the Purple app and help me get to affiliate, but I really don't make as much money doing this as people seem to think that I do. Get well soon, Kitty. Thank you, P. She's doing very well too, which was a huge relief. Let's follow the road round. There, hopefully there'll be a junction a bit further along. According to Shampoo, you got a spicy account, says Raydog. Oh yeah, there's some guy in the TikTok chat, by the way, trying to tell people that I have a spicy account that I stripped on yesterday. Don't know what he's talking about. Although it could be a good revenue earner, you know. We all know how popular trans porn is in deeply conservative areas, so... I mean, I have my principles, but if someone wants to pay money to fetishize me, I could be making that bank, you know? I'm just saying, it's not the worst idea in the world. Get that quiet, says P. Yeah, so you'd think that, you know, if I did have that sort of thing, I'd, you know, want to advertise it so that more people would pay for it. Not keep it a secret. Maybe Shampoo Kid is into it, says Glamrock Freddy. Almost definitely. Almost definitely. They usually are, to be quite frank. Like, the only reason I could think that he would insinuate that that stream existed is because he, like, had a daydream about it or something. But I assure you it was nothing more than a fantasy, Shampoo Kids. In your wildest dreams, maybe, but, no. Just no. Hey, Charlie, how you doing today? Thanks for following Dylan, by the way. Wishful thinking, says P. TikTok chat's just a bunch of weird kids, says Leon. I think that is a part of it, definitely. I mean, you know, I don't want to disparage TikTok too much because, again, I do have some very loyal viewers on TikTok who've been watching my streams for literally years at this point, and I'm so grateful to them. There are some really great people on TikTok, but there are some really strange people as well. Then again, it's kind of like everywhere on the internet, you know. There's going to be weirdos wherever you go. Just finished work, need shower. No worries, Charlie. Go ahead. Have fun. Well, not have fun, but, you know, clean yourself. Or maybe have fun. I don't know what you get up to in the shower, and I don't want to insinuate anything, so I'm going to stop talking now. Put down the shovel, Saul. Put down the shovel. I think we're going to have to try and get through the trees here. None of these waystones are particularly accessible. Actually, we could clear these rocks. Yeah, scratch that. Cancel that. Let's clear these rocks. What do you need? Local authorities, volunteers to help with a nasty rock slide. What do I actually need to do, though? Oh, wooden planks. Well, that's easy. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll switch to the Tatra. If it'll let me. There we go. Who's been there for years, like for ages and constantly here, says Leon. Oh, so Charlie, one of my mods, Charlie, has been watching since pretty much day one. Dre Dog's been watching for over a year. There's a few other viewers who've been there for a long time. Dagger's watching right now. Hey, Dagger. Dagger's been there since pretty much the very start as well. There are a few people who have literally been here since day one. And even if you haven't been, however long you've been watching for, whether it's, you know, a year, 2 years, maybe it's your first time watching ever. It's just good to have you here regardless, you know. Camera ain't lagging anymore, says Leon. That is tremendous news. I think turning the graphics down to high was definitely the right call. It would be nice to keep them on ultra, but if, you know, if it's gonna make that much of a difference to the lag for the webcam, then, you know, I'm happy to turn it down a bit. Okay, there's fuel there. Where do we actually get logs from then? Rocks fall, wooden planks. Oh, of course, the sawmill, which is completely inaccessible. Unless I'm going to switch back to the Tatra. Got to go, sadly. Have a nice stream. Thank you, Glamrock, Freddy Fazbear. Oh, I didn't see your comment about the Thomas Trackmaster custom, by the way. Good luck with it. Hope it goes well. Just quickly before you go, are you doing like LBSC brown, or are you doing the like the turquoise color that he had in The Adventure Begins? Sorry for nerding out about Thomas, everybody. The Adventure Begins version, cool, cool. I think a brown version would be cool though. I don't know if the E2 ever wore LBSC brown. It might have gone straight to BR black. But it'd be cool to see. Draydog says, another bit of Doctor Who news. The BBC struggling to find the next Doctor due to the role being poisoned. Yeah, I've heard about that, Draydog. Yeah, and I do think it's true. I think, you know, 10 years ago, Doctor Who was the big time, you know? Everyone wanted to be Doctor Who, and every time a new Doctor was being cast, there were all these rumours, who's it going to be, you know, who's throwing their hat in the ring? And I feel like this year, nobody's bothered. Like, nobody wants to take the role, because look at the last 2 Doctors. Like, David Tennant came back for just 3 special episodes. Ncuti Gatwa was only in the role for 2 years, and it's pretty obvious that behind-the-scenes drama is what caused him to quit. Nobody wants to take the job. Nobody wants it anymore. And it's almost entirely Russell's fault. I'm sorry. But we can't keep pretending that there isn't a very clear cause of all the trouble that the show's had in the last 2 years. It's Russell T Davies. It just is. He did amazing the first time round. He did amazing when he worked on Doctor Who back in the early 2000s, but he just has handled it so badly this time round. And I really think we need to call it out. We need to be honest with ourselves and say, if we want Doctor Who to reach the level of success that it did back then, get rid of Russell T Davies. Put somebody else in charge. For God's sake, anybody, just put somebody else in charge. That's how I feel about it. I just think, and when I say somebody else, I don't mean Stephen Moffat, I don't mean bring him back, I don't mean bring Chris Chibnall back, I mean someone completely new. Someone who isn't part of Russell T Davies' immediate friend group. You know, if we're gonna do this, if we want Doctor Who to succeed, get somebody new to take over. Somebody who is completely fresh, you know? That's how I feel about it. David Tennant for me, says Mega Rocket. I agree, David Tennant is up there as one of my favourite Doctors. I think Peter Capaldi just takes it. And I don't like to choose favourites because they're all so good. Why aren't my... There we go. But I do think Peter Capaldi, for me, just takes the top spot. He was absolutely amazing. Eccleston says he won't come back if Russell's in the picture. Yeah, Eccleston has returned for Big Finish, which is really great. I don't think he's ever going to return to the main show, which is fine. I think it is fine to finish with the show and then, you know, draw a line and say I don't want to come back. That's fine. Like Peter Capaldi said the same thing. Peter Capaldi said he doesn't like the idea of coming back for like multi-Doctor specials or stuff like that. He's had his time and he's done with it, and that's fine. And I know a lot of fans would love to see more Christopher Eccleston because he was only the Doctor for 13 episodes and people really want to see more of him. But you know, it's fine for him to you know, say I appreciate the opportunity, but I don't want to return to it. Ah, okay, there's a watchtower here that we could get to quite easily. We just head perfectly east. Have you seen the outbreak of meningitis? Yeah, I've heard about that, Charlie. In Kent, there's been a bit of an outbreak of meningitis recently. It's quite scary, honestly, because meningitis is very bad. Like, it's very serious illness. I've heard conflicting stories about, is it bacterial meningitis or is it viral meningitis? You know, which vaccine should people be taking to be protected? I think there's been a lot of confused stories, and I want to, you know, a bit more clarity on what's going on before we move forward with it. Like, you know, do people need to go out and get vaccinated? Do you need to, you know, get antibiotics or whatever? I think there's a bit too much panic around it at the minute, and I mean, you know, it is a very serious situation because it's a very serious illness, but also let's not lose our heads about it. Let's, you know, stay calm and figure out what we're going to do, because panicking is just going to make it worse, right? Panicking is not going to help the situation. And I think, you know, given that it's only been a few years since the pandemic and lockdown and stuff like that, I think a lot of people are immediately jumping to that conclusion. They're like, oh my god, we're not going to go into lockdown again or anything like that, are we? I don't think we are. I don't think it's anywhere near as serious as that. I think it should be treated with the severity that it deserves, because it is serious, but it also shouldn't be blown out of proportion. And people shouldn't start panicking. And people shouldn't start, you know, worrying and being overly cautious. Just, you know, protect yourself. Just follow basic hygiene rules. Wash your hands. Don't cough in people's faces. It's really not that difficult, you know, to adhere to those hygiene standards. That's the safest and calmest thing that you can do at the moment, right? Hey, George, how are you doing? Are you a crime show fan, says Draydog? Not really. I do like some true crime, like documentaries and stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of good stuff on there. I don't really watch TV much these days, so I don't really watch like more TV-style serialized drama, like crime show series. But yeah, I do. I mean, I am interested in crime, you know, I am interested in that sort of stuff. It's happening in my hometown, says Charlie. I'm very sorry to hear that, Charlie. I like to say, look after yourself, you know, I mean, try and just... Try and keep things as normal as possible, you know, don't panic, but also be cautious, that's what I'd say. I always do. Well, that's good then, Charlie. That's good. No way people sit and watch this, says Ash. Well, there are 7 people watching on TikTok right now, and at least 1 person on YouTube, and I think probably 6 people are watching on the Purple app right now, so that's 15? 14? It's not a lot. It's not the best stream that I do. Farming Sim gets way more, actually. Believe it or not, Farming Sim is really popular. Hold on. Which one's diff lock? Or not diff lock, all-wheel drive. Hold on, I've accidentally connected a winch that I didn't want to. There we go, all-wheel drive. Then back to auto. Cam's better now, says Charlie. Yeah, I turned the graphics down slightly, so we do have better camera quality. How's the stream doing over on TWITCH, by the way? If anyone's watching over there right now, can you give me a heads up as to how many viewers we got right now? Because I can't see that on my... I don't have that available to me. Evening, Billy. Hope you're keeping well. I am. Thank you very much. How are you doing? Yeah, I can only see how many people are watching on TikTok. I can't see the other streams. 5 viewers, thank you, P, and the stream quality is good. That's good news. And what time is it? Oh, we're nearly halfway through already. The creator of Class said a few years ago he won't return to the BBC unless they give him the thumbs. How do you mean? Excuse me. There you go. If you want to stop the spread of infection, do that when you cough. Hand over the mouth. That's all it takes. Okay, we need to go right and just follow the road, basically. Good, thanks. Now works behind me. You're looking good as always. Thank you, Billy. Thank you very much. It's really nice and warm again today. I'm really excited because it's finally starting to get to the time of year where I can wear stuff like this more often. Okay, can we go into high gear perhaps? I might be able to turn all-wheel drive off in a minute. But yeah, like I say, at this time of year, I'm just glad that I can start wearing, like, warmer outfits, or I guess cooler outfits. Outfits for warm weather. I don't like wearing long sleeves and jumpers, you know, I'm much more comfortable in this kind of stuff. Okay, are we heading the right way? Yes. Engine stalling. Oh, that's because I'm in high gear. Do you even go outside, says Donut Women? Yeah, I do. I can't remember when I last did. Must have been... God, yesterday. Wow, I haven't been outside today. Isn't that shocking? Sick of being cold this year, roll on summer. Exactly, Billy. I love the warmer weather. I'm not the biggest fan of summer because it gets too hot. This time of year is perfect. Like springtime, spring is my favourite season. It's just the right temperature and there's a nice breeze, you know, everything's green, all the flowers are just starting to bloom. This is my favourite time of year, springtime. Summer's good, but yeah, it can get too hot in summer. Same, there's people out there, says Mega Rocker. True, there's people out there. Proper Brit, not too hot, not too cold. Exactly. It's my right as a Brit to complain when it's too hot and when it's too cold. He won't return to the BBC unless they allow him to do a Series 2 of Class. Oh, I see. I mean, sure. I mean, why not have a second series of Class, to be honest? It wasn't really my cup of tea. Not my favourite spin-off. But it could work. I mean, they're always banging on about the Hooniverse and doing more spin-offs. You've got someone there who wants to write a spin-off. Let him do it, you know? I wonder if the actors that play Clyde, Luke, and Rani would consider getting back together for like a Sarah Jane sequel. That'd be really cool. Or maybe just like a special, not even a series, just a special where they like have to get back together and team up to save the world again. That'd be cool. Because I loved Sarah Jane. Absolutely loved Sarah Jane Adventures. Gonna get my tea, have a good stream and take care. Thank you, Billy. Thanks for joining. We'll see you later. It's not the right kind of hot, says Mega Rocker. Exactly, exactly. It's a dry heat, you know. The dry heat's the worst. Or is the wet heat worse? I don't know. You into slasher movies? I watched a movie called Heart Eyes. It was so good. I'm not too. I like horror and slashers and all that kind of stuff. I've not seen Heart Eyes. The thing is, I always say about horror that I'm a big fan of sci-fi horror specifically. You know, Alien, The Thing, The Fly, all that kind of stuff is really more my cup of tea, rather than more, like, what's the word? More psychological horror, I guess. I love sci-fi, and sci-fi horror I think is a really niche genre that's really good. I mean, not niche. There is a lot of good sci-fi horror out there, but I think compared to like your more paranormal horror, for example, I think sci-fi is a bit smaller. Alien's so good, says Water Dogs. Did you see the TV show they just came out with? I still haven't seen the Alien TV series, so please no spoilers, because I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't got around to it yet. So no spoilers, but yeah, it's pretty much the only Alien thing that I haven't seen yet. I am an Alien super fan. The original is my favourite film of all time. I've seen all of them. I went to see Romulus in the cinema with my sister a couple of years ago. The shorts that they did for the 30th anniversary, or was it the 40th anniversary? Whichever. Big Alien fan. Free for my meeting, but have to take the dog out. Be right back. No worries, Max. See you soon. Good concept. Person goes after a couple on Valentine's Day. Oh, that could be interesting. Predator Badlands is worth a watch, says Mega Rocker. Thank you for the recommendation, Mega Rocker. I like Predator. I didn't like Alien versus Predator. I'm sorry to say. I like Alien. I like Predator. The combination, it just didn't do it for me. And I don't think that's an unpopular opinion, to be honest. I think there are a lot of people out there who like both franchises but didn't like the crossover. And I'm one of them. I've just noticed this music, by the way. I like it. It's been in the background for a while, but I've only just really picked up on it. Nice little bit of guitar. You can't hear it too well over the noise of the engine and my voice, but Saul Goodman, says Archer. Hold on, Archer. I gotta flash my Better Call Saul coaster. Whenever someone mentions Better Call Saul, I have to show that. Good thing about Purple App is you can't get copyrighted, says Liam. I think they still have like music, quite strict music guidelines, right? Not that it bothers me, because I don't really use any copyrighted music in my streams. I think we need a Genesis of the Cybermen episode, says Draydog. That would be good. We kind of had that with World Enough and Time, though. I feel like the series finale with the Doctor, with Peter Capaldi and Bill. No spoilers. I don't want to spoil anything, but I feel like that was a Genesis story for the Mondasian Cybermen, and then obviously Age of Steel is a good origin story for the Cybus Industries version of the Cybermen. So I feel like we've already kind of got origin stories for multiple different kinds of Cybermen. Your VODs get muted, says Mega Rocker, if they've got copyrighted audio. That's fair enough, that's fair enough. Like I say, the only music that I ever use in my streams is I have some music that I play, you know, for the just chatting sections at the intro and the outro. But that is used with permission. It's from a channel on YouTube called TheRelaxedMovement. And they, you know, they give full permission to use their music on any platform as long as it's credited. So I have a little on-screen credit at the end. Do you like trucks, says Sean? I do, yes. You can play music if you don't save the VOD. Oh, okay. So as long as... So you can play the music on stream, it's just that if it's copyrighted music, you then won't be able to save it as a VOD. That's pretty lenient, to be fair. Why do you hide being trans? Don't be scared, it's okay, says Donut Woman. I don't hide being trans. I've never hidden being trans. I'm very proud of my identity as a trans woman. If I was hiding it, then I just wouldn't stream at all. If I was hiding it, I'd be doing a very bad job. Let's just leave it at that. Do you like buses? Not really. I'm not a big bus fan, as much as I am... I'm into trucks, trains, and tractors. Those are my big three. Buses are okay, but I don't really have that much interest in them. What's your favourite all-time series, says Archer. You mean, like, my favourite series of any genre? That's a very, very open-ended question. It might be Doctor Who. It probably is Doctor Who, to be honest. Like, my favourite series of anything. Sci-fi, sitcom, drama. There's just so many different, you know, candidates, but I think it might be Doctor Who. Stargate SG-1, says Mega Rocker. Nice choice, nice choice. Do you want the trains to run on time, says Sean. I'm pretty sure that's a dog whistle, Sean. It would be nice if the trains ran on time, but not in a Benito Mussolini way. Just in an actual running on time way. I don't know what you're talking about, says Sean. If you genuinely don't know what I'm talking about, the trains will run on time is a very well-known slogan of Benito Mussolini, fascist dictator of Italy in the mid-20th century, and is frequently used as a dog whistle by fascists. I'm not saying that you are. It might have just been a genuine question. I'm just saying, when people use that phrase, they sometimes use it to mean something else. Weird question, what's under the green t-shirt, says Donut Women. My fake boobs and my flat chest. How far have we got to go, by the way? God, we are well over an hour into the stream, and we still haven't actually picked up any cargo yet. We are quite close to the sawmill, though. I'm back, says Max. Welcome back, Max. How you doing? I'm gonna have a drink. I haven't had a drink the whole stream. Lovely jubbly. Thanks for following, Gaming. You're not getting unmuted, though. I'm alright, thankfully on my lunch break, so I can hang out for a moment. Nice one, Max. Nice one. I heard mention of Doctor... Because the thing about Doctor Who... Doctor Who's kind of like Star Wars, where it's reached a point that there's so much content that you never know where to start, you know? Like, 30 years ago... Well, 20 years ago, if you wanted to marathon the entire Star Wars franchise, you just had to watch 6 films, and that was it. Now there's 12 films and like a dozen different spin-off series, and it's really difficult to know where to dive in, you know? And I think Doctor Who's the same. You've got Classic Who, you got New Who, you got Big Finish. There's like more Big Finish than any other Doctor Who media combined times 10. There's so much audio. There's the Sarah Jane Adventures, there's Torchwood, you know, there's so much out there, and it's all good. It's all good, you know. There's comics, like Sean says. There's comics. There's, you know, there's novels. There's all sorts of stuff. I do think I think New Who is the best place to start, and when I say New Who, I mean 2005. Christopher Eccleston. That is the best start for new viewers, I think. It can be daunting to join a fandom late when there's already so much established stuff out there. Exactly, Pete, exactly. Like I say, New Who's a good jumping on point. Christopher Eccleston, the Ninth Doctor, very good jumping on point. Then once you've watched through all of that, you can go back and watch Classic Who. And I also recommend like watching the spin-offs alongside the actual show, especially because there's a lot of crossover between Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures into the main show around like Series 4. It's a good idea to watch like Torchwood and Sarah Jane alongside them rather than afterwards, if you know what I mean. Through Jodie Whittaker, but not her regeneration, says Max. Oh, you're nearly caught up then. You're nearly caught up. I don't know if I've watched Sarah Jane Adventures. I'll have to check it out. I definitely recommend it, Max. It is aimed more towards kids. It's the idea was when back in 2005 when Doctor Who came back. The idea was that the main show would be for families, and then they'd have Torchwood for adults and Sarah Jane Adventures for kids. So Sarah Jane is a lot more child-friendly, but it's still a really good show. There's some genuine, really good content in there. And Torchwood's great as well. The first series is a bit nah, and the last series is very nah. But Series 2 and 3 of Torchwood... Series 3 of Torchwood is the best series of anything in the Doctor Who universe. And I will die on that hill. It is better than any of the actual show. Series 3 of Torchwood is peak. Just plain and simple, peak. So watch Torchwood, watch Sarah Jane Adventures, watch Classic Who if you've got the time. It's a bit longer, but it's worth it. Disney Plus era is New Who. Yeah, Disney. So after Jodie Whittaker, thanks for following Owen Live. After Jodie Whittaker is when the Disney deal happened. So Disney got the rights to distribute Doctor Who, and the show got a lot more funding as a result. So anything after Jodie Whittaker, that's the Disney era. Although the Disney era is now over because they have not renewed their contract with Disney. So yeah, that was the Disney era lasted for 3 years. Anyway, back to the game. We've been talking about Doctor Who a lot. Back to the game. We have just picked up 2 loads of wooden planks. We're currently heading back to... there's a rock fall that we need to clear over on the other side of the map. So that's what we're doing right now, if you've just tuned in. Charlie says, never watched Doctor Who. What movie is it like? Good question. What sci-fi movie is the most like Doctor Who? I don't think I can answer that. Let me know, everybody. What would you say? If you're a big sci-fi fan and a big Doctor Who fan, what other franchise, particularly film franchise, would you compare Doctor Who to? Because I think there's something very unique about Doctor Who. I think it has this certain quality that it kind of is just unlike anything else. There's elements of a lot of other great sci-fis in there, but I really do think it stands alone in a lot of ways too. Sherlock, says Sean, it does have a lot in common with Sherlock in terms of like the style of the editing and stuff like that, especially in the Moffat era. Yeah. Narratively, though, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Merlin, yeah, Merlin. It's got a lot in common with Merlin as well. I think any kind of British sci-fi show or fantasy or, well, basically anything else made in the UK, it's like that. We need a Doctor Who Sherlock episode, says Sean. Oh god, do you remember in like the in the early 2010s when everyone was obsessed with Doctor Who and Sherlock as a combined entity? Because that was when Stephen Moffat was working on both shows. He was like the showrunner for both shows, and people were obsessed with the idea of a crossover. It never happened though. Although Sherlock Holmes has appeared in Doctor Who a couple of times. Not the real Sherlock Holmes, because there was no real Sherlock Holmes, obviously, but there's been a few references to the character of Sherlock Holmes in Doctor Who over the years. But there's bound to be, you know, there's bound to be with so many, with such a long-standing show, right? Am I going the right way? Yes. I heard they're bringing back Firefly, says Mega Rocket. I've never actually seen Firefly. I've heard good things about it. I've heard bad things about it. I've heard it's one of those shows that had a bit of a decline in quality over the years. But yeah, I've not seen it. Sorry. The urge just overtook me. How's the stream doing on Purple app, by the way? How many viewers we got right now? Okay, the snow here is pretty deep. 6, thank you, P. That's very good news. It seems like it's been around 5 or 6 for most of the stream, so really keeping my fingers crossed that we're going to hit that 3 viewer average again. We're tantalizingly close now. I can almost taste that affiliation. We're nearly there. If we get 3 average viewers today, we only need to do it twice more. 2 more streams, and I could hit affiliate. That could be by the end of the week. Now, having said that, it is Resident Evil tomorrow, and bizarrely, my Resident Evil streams perform terribly. I would have thought, brand new game, hugely popular, everyone's going to want to watch it. And the first 2 episodes of my Resident Evil playthrough have just been absolutely dead. So maybe tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, it'll be a bit better. But then Farming Sim on Friday, come on. Farming Sim is by far the most popular stream that I do. I don't think that's going to be a problem. So yeah, we could hit affiliate by the end of the week, theoretically. Let's be honest, it's the new overlay, isn't it? I've outdone myself. And look, I spent a lot of time working on overhauling the look of my channel over there, and I'm very, very proud of it. I'm very happy with what I've done. Like, just making all the panels as well. Obviously, if you scroll down, there's a load of panels there with links to my Patreon and YouTube and Discord and all that kind of stuff. I've even added a panel with information about my PC specs, because I like I was saying earlier, when I first started streaming on that app, I never intended for it to be like my main platform. When I first started streaming over there, TikTok was very much still my main platform, so I didn't put too much effort into how the streams looked. It was literally just the game and my webcam. But now now that I've decided that I want that to be my main platform and I want to put more effort into it, yeah, I sat down over the weekend and I just worked my arse off to, come up with all these new graphics and all these new overlays and buttons and panels, and I'm very happy with it. I think, again, I think people are more likely to engage with a stream when you've got all this extra stuff on screen, and it looks a bit more professional, And I went round a lot of other streamers, a lot of other big streamers, and I looked at, what their overlays look like, what panels they have, and stuff like that. Well, you can see what I've came up with, and I'm very happy with it. Can't wait for the soul emote, says P. Oh, me neither. Oh, that's another thing. Once we get to affiliate, we can have custom emotes. Those are going to go hard. I'm looking forward to custom emotes. Let's head to the Cairn. Is this Euro Truck? This is Snowrunner, Sean. Not being rude, but what made you become trans? Good question. Long answer. I have a video about it on TikTok if you really want to know in more detail. It's the very first video on my profile. But I was never really very comfortable as a guy. Being raised as a boy, it just never really felt right. And as a kid, I could never put my finger on why I felt that way. But as I got older and I started to learn about trans people and understand what being trans meant, I started to realize that actually a lot of this, makes sense to me. A lot of it matches with the kind of feelings that I've had about myself growing up. So I started to think, maybe I would be more happy, more comfortable in myself if I came out as a woman. And I did. That was 5 years ago, and I'm very, very happy. I'm much happier than I was before, let me tell you. I can't even put into words how much happier I am, because I just feel comfortable. Like, can you imagine? A good way to describe it is, can you imagine looking in the mirror every single day, and the person that you see isn't you? Can you imagine looking in the mirror and thinking, who the hell is that? That's what it's like. That's what gender dysphoria is like to me. It's like looking at yourself and not even being able to recognize yourself. And now I look in the mirror and I see me. The person in the mirror is me. And to go from like not even recognizing yourself to seeing yourself like that, and just feeling so right, you know, so correct, like the way it should be. It's a great feeling. I'm very happy. I just can't. I can't possibly put into words how much of a difference it's made to my demeanor, you know, and to my contentment with life. How far along the journey are you, says Stormzy? Well, I haven't medically transitioned, and I don't really plan to anytime soon. HRT, I do want to take HRT, but I'm not interested in anything beyond that, really. Hi, Sean. Thanks for joining over on Purple App. Very kind of you. We're doing well over there now, aren't we? So you're just lying to yourself, says Stormzy? About what, Stormzy? Sean says, I came out in 2015, been on HRT for 10 years, I'm 26. Nice one, Sean. I'm also 26. I came out in 2021. Saul's just a massive lie, says Donut Woman. How so? How so? Sorry, I think I got a hair in my gob. Sorry, it sounds really gross. Okay, we're good. We're good. I think I got a little bit of a hair in my mouth. Didn't mean it like that. I'm just new to this stuff and don't want to be rude, says Stormzy. But how... Okay, forgive me for saying so, but I don't know how that could come across as anything other than rude, you know? Like, what you're lying to yourself is rude. There's no other way to take it. I you know. I pretty much pass 99% of the time. Good, Sean. I'm glad to hear it. Oh, we're nearly there. Okay, I won't ask any more questions then, you absolute clout. Well, it wasn't a question. Well, technically it was a question, yeah. But the question was, so you're just lying to yourself? Are you stuck on a waitlist? No, Sean, I'm not actually on a waitlist for HRT. I want to wait till I'm a bit more financially stable so that I can afford to go private. because obviously NHS waiting lists are really, really long, and also I don't want to like fearmonger or anything, but I think if you're getting HRT prescribed by the state healthcare system, there's a very real possibility that that could be taken away at some point in the future. You know, I'm not saying it will, but I'm saying there are definitely people out there who have the opinion that HRT should not be prescribed on the NHS, and some of those people with that opinion could potentially end up in power one day. I think the safest option, for me personally, I think it's going to be much better if I wait until I'm financially stable enough to go private. It was not bad a few years ago. I mean, I came out in 2021. The first time I seriously considered HRT was about a year after I'd came out, so that would be 2022. And my local clinic had a wait list of 7 years at the time, so I would still be halfway down the wait list in 2026. There are places where the wait list is decades long, and I know not everyone is actually going to be waiting that long, but there are people who are on the waiting list for years and years. Ignore all the hate, you don't deserve it. Thank you, full stop. Hey, Jack, by the way. That's disgustingly and unjustifiably long, says Pete. Yeah, some might say, you know, not to put a tinfoil hat on or anything, but some might argue that it's by design, because if you keep someone on the waiting list for long enough, eventually they're just going to say, you know what, I'll not bother. Now, I'm not insinuating that that's the case, but I'm just saying, you know, if you want as few people to transition as possible, it might be quite a prudent decision to just make the waitlist deliberately overinflated so that people drop out before they actually get to the top of the list, you know? Just saying. Just saying. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but... who are going to be your mods, says Jack? Max has already offered to moderate for me. If you're watching right now, Max, if and when I get to affiliate, I will definitely add you to the mod team if you're okay with that, because I know that you offered not too long ago. Snowrunner, one of my most favourite games, says Dan. Me too, Dan. I absolutely love this game. Oh, there's a waystone. Waystone. We're not playing Minecraft. There's a watchtower down here. Let's go to that. We'll go this way. Oh, there's an unfinished bridge there that we might not get across. Let's go back. Hold on. I've turned the map around now, and I don't know where I am. Let's go back the way we came. Can we go that way? I think we can. Yeah. I'm okay with that, says Max. Just let me know what you need. Thank you, Max. Like I say, I'll wait until we actually hit affiliate, but it might be this week if all goes well. So... 9 viewers, says Jack. Really? There's 9 people watching on Purple App right now. That is incredible. Growing more each day. Honestly, that makes me really happy. I think that might be the most views I've ever had. That might be my most concurrent views ever, which is incredible. 8, says Sean. Still very, very good. Like I say, now that I've made the decision for that to be my main streaming platform, I'm going to put a lot more effort into it. I'm not saying that I'm going to give up on TikTok or YouTube. I am still going to keep streaming on TikTok and YouTube, but Purple App is by far going to be where I dedicate most of my resources in future, because I think that it's the best candidate for monetization. It's like my best avenue for that. Is Purple App same as this app? I'll give you a follow. It is, Dan. Yes, it is. Clock app, says Sean. I think you can say TikTok on Purple App, right? There's no issue with me saying TikTok on the YouTube stream or the Purple stream. And I do also want to say, by the way, as soon as we oh, thanks for following Monkey D. Luffy. Thank you very much. As soon as we do get to affiliate on the Purple app, I'm going to stop calling it the Purple app and start calling it its real name. Because honestly, once I get affiliate, I don't care what happens to my TikTok. I'm not saying I want to get shadow banned again, but if I get shadow banned on TikTok and I've already hit affiliate, I don't really care anymore, you know what I mean? So, yeah, for anyone watching on Purple app right now, as soon as I get affiliate, I'm going to stop calling it Purple App. I'll start calling it by its real name, and if TikTok wants to shadow ban me again, so be it. I like being mysterious, says P. I just think, you know, if that's going to be my main streaming platform, I don't like the idea of me not being allowed to refer to my main platform by its actual name. You know. When you get channel points, you should get text-to-speech, says Jack. I have toyed with the idea of text-to-speech. The only thing is, it's going to have to be quite heavily restricted, because, I mean, you know the kind of things that people are going to use it for. It's the same reason that I've never used text-to-speech on TikTok, because I get a lot of trolls, and I don't want people turning up to my stream and just using text-to-speech to call me slurs, basically. So if I did ever use text-to-speech, I'd definitely consider looking into it, but it would it'd have to be quite restricted. Should only be used for donations. That's a good idea, because then if someone wants to say something with text-to-speech, they actually have to pay. And, you know, trolls aren't really... Most of the time, trolls aren't going to go to the effort of sending me money so that they can insult me. You know what I mean? P says, get blurp or something instead. You don't want it to be yelling out, do you have a penis 15 times a day? That's true. Can you imagine? You know the, you know, like the typical text-to-speech voice? Can you just imagine, do you have a penis? In that voice. Constantly throughout the entire stream. Because that's what it'd be like. That's what it would be like, I guarantee it. You can actually ban specific words or phrases, so it'll auto-mod what people put in. That's true, that's true. Like I say, it could be an option, but as long as the tools are there for me to be able to moderate it properly, yeah, we'll look into it. The thing is, once I get affiliate, it opens the door for so many other things, you know. We can have emotes, we can have bits, we can have subs. There's just so much more potential there once we hit that, and I get that they've got to make it a bit of a hurdle. You know, you've got to kind of prove that you can sustain that level of interaction before they'll agree to help you out, as it were. But I really feel like, you know, we're 2 steps away from it, and we'll have all these extra resources, and we'll be able to do so much more stuff once we hit it, so... Is robophobia allowed, says Sean. I mean, I like robots. I don't have a problem with robots. I just have a problem with AI specifically, you know? Okay, it's 20 to 7, by the way, so we are nearly at the end of the stream. We're only going to be going for another 20 minutes today. Oh, there's an upgrade part down there. Wait, where? I can't see because it's covered by the thingy. Where is that? It said there. Where is that? I can't see it on the map. Hold on. This may end badly, but I'm gonna. Oh, it's gone. No, it's still there. Oh, there's a crashed car here. Right, we can get an upgrade from it. A more powerful alternative to regular stock power systems. Not available for this truck. Okay, so what truck could we use that in then? Maybe the, is it the Chevy? I think the starting truck's a Chevy, right? Oh, and by the way, I'll try and figure out why the TikTok chat isn't showing on the merged chat feed. I'm using Streamlabs. I don't stream on Streamlabs. I stream with OBS, but I do have a Streamlabs account, so I can use some overlays and stuff like that. I'm using an extension from Streamlabs that merges together and displays chats from multiple platforms, and you can see there's little icons next to each message to tell you which platform it came from. It is supposed to work with TikTok, and I have connected my TikTok account to it, but for some reason the TikTok comments don't show on it. Only the YouTube and Purple app comments show. So I'll try and figure that out before the next stream, just so that you know I'm working on it. Whoa. Okay, this is... I'm gonna go to low gear. I'm losing control. We're running quite low on fuel as well. I think there's a gas station right next to this next way watchtower, so... I can refuel there. Whoa. Oh no, this isn't a gas station. Oh, there's one just up ahead though. Where's the watchtower then? Oh, the watchtower's a bit further down. Your pterodactyl list is wrong. Patreon, says Donut Woman. That's quite a typo, Donut Woman. No, my Patreon list is correct. Unless someone new has joined during the stream, which obviously I can't do anything about until after the stream. So if you've just subscribed to Patreon today, your name will be on there next time, I promise. That's an epic misspelling, says Max. Yeah, that is wild. It's wrong and I can prove it. Sure, go ahead then, Donut Woman. 1:15. Okay, we'll unlock this watchtower. I don't know what else we're realistically going to get done in the next 15 minutes, but we will see. Donut's been vying for attention all stream to no avail. Yeah, it's always fun when they just keep on trying. It's always fun when it's clearly not working, but they just keep trying anyway. And honestly, I think that's the best way to deal with trolls, is to just rage bait them. Just let them keep getting angrier and angrier because it's not working. It's fun. You have 11 paid members, but the list shows 12 names. That is a good point, actually, Donut Woman. The thing is, not everyone has auto-renew turned on, so sometimes people's access will expire for like a day or two, and then they'll repay. The name will still appear on the active list, so it'll still appear on my board. And if they decide not to renew, then obviously I'll take their name off the board. But a good example is Liam. If Liam's still watching, hi Liam. Liam's access expired a couple of days ago, and then he renewed it manually, so he's still a member. That's how that works. You can have auto renewal, like you can make it so that it automatically takes the money out of your account once a month, but it's also possible that you can set it to manual renew, so you have to manually resubscribe each month. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out, but no, just because the number on there says 11, that doesn't mean that the 12 names that I have here are wrong. Anyway, we got 15 minutes left. Do I have time to get to the last watchtower? If we can get under the pipeline, it's possible. Let's go this way. And try and get under somewhere over here. Do you know when their card declines, says Donut Women. No, I don't have information about any of my patrons' cards, or whether they decline or not. The only thing I see, as a Patreon like creator, the only thing that you see is the last time that it was paid. So if I went to one of my, if I go to my active Patreons list, it'll tell me a list of each member and when their, like, what date their payment renews on. That's all I know, is like what date it expires and renews. If you don't mind, I'm used to be called STFC on TikTok, so if you remember, call me by that if you don't mind. Sorry, STFC. I'll try to refer to you as STFC if you prefer. It's just obviously on the Patreon board, your name's down as Liam. If anyone does want to join the Patreon, by the way, the name on the board will be whatever you set your username to on Patreon, so if you don't want your, like, real legal name on there, don't call your Patreon account your real name. Just as a heads up. Sorry to be a pain. It's fine, STFC. I'm used to calling you STFC anyway, because you were a regular viewer over on TikTok. I've only recently started calling you Liam because of the Patreon thing, but I'll if you prefer STFC, that's fine by me. Okay, it's 10-2. If we can get under the pipeline, we might get this last watchtower done. In all honesty, I'm just glad not to be alone in the purple app, says Max. You've got friends, Max. You've got... Sorry, that sounded really cruel. Like, you know, a couple of weeks ago, you were sat there alone. You were the only viewer over on purple app. But now, look. We've got a community. We've got an audience. It's great. Hey, Matt on YouTube. How you doing? Shut up, says Donut Woman. Sorry. Can I talk again now? Was that long enough? It's awesome, says Max. It is. It's a great feeling, honestly, to see so many people watching over there. Okay, let's see if we can get under this pipeline, shall we? Oh, the snow is really deep here. Oh, look at that! Okay, this might be a struggle. We'll go to low gear. But this may not work. This may be too much even for the Marshal. Unless we can winch under. But there's no... Oh, hang on. Maybe. I way prefer being here, says P. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Like I say, I think that purple is, generally speaking, is a much friendlier place than TikTok. And again, I'm not saying that to be negative to my TikTok audience, because I have some really great followers on TikTok and some really loyal viewers who've watched so many of my streams. But I think, generally speaking, the atmosphere on the purple app feels a bit more friendly and welcoming, you know. So if I can convince enough people to, you know, go and watch over there instead, not just because it helps me get to affiliate, but because it's just in general a nicer community, you know, a nicer place to be. Purple's definitely better. You can see a lot more on the screen. That's true as well. Like, the biggest thing, the best thing is you can actually see the game. The thing about TikTok is that it's all vertical and tiny little, you know, game window. And I know you can stream horizontally on TikTok, but nobody watches horizontal streams on TikTok. The great thing about YouTube and Purple is that you can see the game, you know, it's in landscape. You can watch it on a telly, you can watch it on your computer. It's just so much better. Like, in pretty much every conceivable way, it's better. Okay, we are actually making light work of this snow with the Khan. Ooh. This could be a problem, though. This could be a problem. It looks like there's a lake here, and it may or may not be frozen over. I'm doing good, says Matt. Glad to hear it, Matt. No stream tomorrow? Yes, there is a stream tomorrow. I'm going to be playing Resident Evil again tomorrow. In fact, if you stick around and watch the bottom right of the screen, it should say it on screen in just a few moments. There's like it's on a cycle. I thought I needed something to put in the bottom right corner, because obviously I've got the wheel cam in the bottom left. And I just thought, you know, rather than having a static image, it'd be nice to have a cycle, you know, to cycle through a few images. So I've put the current game that we're playing, I've put what the next live stream's going to be, and then I've also put messages for Patreon and affiliate. And obviously, with each stream, I'll change those up a little bit, so you always know what game I'm playing and what the next stream's going to be. Resident Evil 9 tomorrow. Yes, we're playing more Resident Evil Requiem. Looking forward to it. I've been absolutely loving the game so far. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is how many people are going to watch it, because it has been one of my least viewed series that I've done so far. So hopefully we still get enough viewers tomorrow on Purple app for the affiliate. Oh, there's another spare part over there. Cool. I don't think we're going to reach it today because this water is very deep. Look at this. But also look at... the Marshall makes it look effortless. I know I talked about this in the last Snowrunner stream, but this thing here, the Karn Marshall, is just an absolute beast. It can do it all. It can go everywhere. It makes it look effortless, you know? What a machine. Would you ever consider bottom surgery, says Leon? No. Nope. Absolutely not. It's not something that I personally feel the need to do. Okay, we'll go around this way. Every trans person's different, you know, everyone has different goals in mind for their transition. For me personally, it's not something that I consider necessary. Thank you for wording it like that, though. Like, honestly, it's a bit of an intrusive question, but I'd rather it be asked like that. You know, would you consider bottom surgery, rather than have you had it chopped off? So thank you for wording the question as respectfully as possible, Leon. I do appreciate that. 7 o'clock nearly, says Charlie. It is, yeah. Oh god, it's 3 minutes to. Right, we might overrun a tiny bit, but I really don't want to overrun too much because I don't want to bring down the average viewership too much. I'm going to very quickly head to the last watchtower, and then we're going to finish up. So we may end up 5 minutes late. P says, I have cricket tomorrow at 6. Do feel free to ping me on Discord to remind me to lurk. I will do, P, yes. If you don't mind lurking. Just for the views, that would be very helpful. Gear on your left, are you from the UK? I am Zusukaze. How are you doing? I am from the UK, yes. As you can see, I've got all of my gear set up for left-hand drive. Well, no, right-hand drive, left-hand side. My country also drive on the left. I'm from Thailand. Cool. I don't think we've had a viewer from Thailand before. Welcome. I think the furthest away that we've ever had a viewer in the past, or like the furthest away that anyone's told me that they've been watching from, is Slovenia. We had someone watching from Slovenia before. Oh, well, mind you, America is further away, isn't it? So America. But yeah, never had a viewer from Thailand. How is it? How are you doing? Is it like the middle of the night over there? What's on your right? Control panel is on my right, so we got lots of buttons and stuff like that over here. And here is the last watchtower. We've discovered all the watchtowers in this area. Nice work. And look at that, the whole map is visible. And on that note, we're going to leave it there. See the Logitech logo? It is Logitech, yes. Logitech heavy equipment wheel and panel. It's 2 AM in Thailand. Wow. Well, thank you for being here at 2 in the morning, Zusukaze. It's very much appreciated. I'm sorry you have joined right at the end of the stream, unfortunately, but I will be live same time again tomorrow, so thank you very much for being here anyway. Before we go, I'm going to do my usual wrap-up, so don't go away. Here we go. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching. It is exactly 7 o'clock, so I'm going to try and wrap things up quite quickly today because I don't want to run over too much. Just interested in the gear. Yeah, questions about the gear are, you know, I'm always happy to answer. If you scroll down on the purple app, there's actually a panel in the description, like in my about section just below, where there's information about all of my sim gear and all my PC setup and stuff like that. So do check that out if you're interested. But yeah, that is going to be all for today's stream. I do hope you've enjoyed. I have to say, probably the best stream we've done on TWITCH so far, which is really great. I do want to, you know, say again, thank you everyone for joining. Let me know your thoughts on the new layout. I think it's really great. You know, I love that we've not only have we got the chat on screen, we've also got the little animated box up there, which I think adds a lot of you know, interest. It keeps the screen from being too static. And it's just great to have the TikTok, the TWITCH and YouTube chats all in one place. You can't see it right now because all of the messages right now are from TWITCH. But if I put a message on the YouTube stream right now, it hasn't showed up. There it is. There we go. So yeah, this chat does merge the YouTube and Purple app feeds. So, and it should merge the TikTok ones as well. I'm going to figure out how to get the TikTok chat merged into there as well, which will be very good because then everyone can see everyone's chats all in one place. You know. You can say the purple chat instead. Yeah, the purple chat. You can see the purple chat. You can see the YouTube chat, and hopefully next time you'll see the TikTok chat as well. Charlie says, have a nice evening trying the new McDonald's menu. Nice one, Charlie. You enjoy it. I don't think I'll be trying the new menu for a couple of weeks yet because I'm still paying off that bloody vet bill. But enjoy. Everyone enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you tomorrow for Resident Evil Requiem. I'm very much looking forward to that. And yeah, thanks once again everyone who has helped me to get closer to affiliate today. I'm hoping that we hit an average of 3 viewers today, which I think we did. I think we've absolutely smashed it, which means we only need 2 more. 2 more streams with an average of 3 viewers, and we will be affiliated, and that means we can monetize. It means bits, it means subs, it means emotes, it means all sorts of other stuff. Very, very, very exciting. Thank you so much everyone for helping to contribute to that today, and please do join again tomorrow, and hopefully we might even be able to get to affiliate by the end of the week, which would be just so amazing. That's it. Last thing before we finish up is, of course, a shout out to the Patreons. Thank you very much to Kate, Jess, Danny, Riley P, Charlie, Amy, Marika, Aaron, Liam, Matt, and Max. If you'd like to get your name on this board and just at the top of the screen there is a link in my bio or in the description. It's patreon.com/ashbridgeindustries. There's also a link, if you're watching on the Purple app, there's a link right below. There's a panel that'll take you there. But yeah, you'll get your name on this board. You'll get access to behind-the-scenes content, early access videos, bloopers, outtakes, making of videos, all that kind of stuff. And of course, you'll be supporting me in what I do here on TikTok, YouTube, and elsewhere. You'll also get VIP status in the Discord server, which you can also join via a link in my bio or down below. So thank you, everyone. Once again, thank you to Kate, Jess, Danny, Riley P, Charlie, Amy, Marika, Aaron, Liam, Matt, and Max for following me over there. I will see you tomorrow for Resident Evil. Enjoy.